Hello friends, I know Miss is just finishing up. I'm going live here. I've tried it once, I'm going live again to hopefully avoid any glitches, if that's possible. I don't know. Let me get this a little bit closer. There we go. I know, like I said, Miss is just finishing up, and I am Alicia, the Chardon Sign Check, coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio, and we're a little bit early here, but I'll get organized and stuff while we're waiting. I know Miss is probably just finishing up. I had my colors in order here earlier, now I do not. Those three. So as you're hopping on, please say hello. Again, I'm a little bit early. I'm hoping we have no glitches. I think Miss did. Unfortunately, I saw that. It may happen here. It could happen for many reasons. I don't know where my blue is. Oh, there it is. Okay. So as you're hopping on, please say hello and welcome, welcome. I'm glad to see you. I've got all my devices up here. Hopefully we'll stay connected. It's been a big problem lately. Hi Sherry, how are you? What a beautiful event. Were those not the cutest projects? I didn't get to see the ending of Mrs. and I didn't get to see the in-between of Danica's, but they were just absolutely adorable. So as you're hopping on, say hello, and again, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. You're waiting for a storm? We are too. That's what I gotta do. I gotta get my contact there, get all my stuff, all my ducks in a row here. So as you're hopping on, please say hello, and again, as I said, welcome. I went on just a couple minutes early. I'm hoping we don't have any glitches tonight. So we are going to have, it is 8 o'clock now, right? Okay, so it's 8 o'clock. So hello, Shawneen. Hi, Cheryl. So we're having this event today. It's been absolutely beautiful. Danica went on at 6 EST. Missy just finished up, or is finishing up, I'm assuming. And I'm Alicia. And if you don't know me, hi Sandy, hi Dorothy. I am the ambassador for the Stencil Smith. And they are just the best company, and we appreciate them so much for hosting this event. They are giving away, with every order that you do, this is what they're giving away. This beautiful little, and it's like the, hi April, hi Sherry, hi Donna. It's just like the little Christmas one with all kinds of little, which I used, that little Christmas one that we got with our Christmas event. I used it a lot. But hello and welcome. So I'm going to set this aside, but if you order any of the stencils tonight, any or all of them, you will get one of these with your order for free. And then we're also at the end of the live going to pick two winners for sprinkling, which means to do this. And just write sprinkled in the comments. That's all you have to do. Hi Danica, how are you? Hi Diane. So I'm going to set this aside too. So my stencil that I chose to do is this number right here, 10423, and my size is a small. And I'm going to angle this down. I'm not going to be all chatty before like I usually do. Now I do have to say we're going to angle down and we're just going to get started. If for some reason this goes out, I will start over again. So there may be a part 1, a part 2, a part 3. It's just something that's been happening with Facebook lately. Let me move my paints over here. So this is the background that I'm doing here, which is kind of like a dreamy like looking. I know it's so cute, Miss, and your project was so cute. Danica's was just beautiful, just absolutely adorable. I did not get to see the end of it, but I know anything you girls do is just absolutely gorgeous. Hi, Patty, how are you? So, like I said, hopefully we'll get through this. So I'm starting with a 1x8 that I've cut 12 inches. I am going to show you how to do the background real quick. And I'm going to get some paint out here. And I'm starting with this. And I will list all the paints after the live. One of these days I'll be as good as Miss and I'll have a project sheet. Maybe. I can't promise anything. I can try. But I sure will try. But I will list the colors after the live. I'll screenshot them so you can see them. So I'm getting a little bit of water, and I'm going to do a wash of this Deco Arts Dragon Fruit. So don't worry if you don't know the colors. Let's just get started here. And again, that was my stencil number, and I'm doing a wash, and I'm just slapping it across the board here with a wet flat brush. I think it's like a 1-inch brush. And this is going to be like my background color. I'm going to want this to come out just a little bit through my blues. And I was practicing with a lot of different things today, but this was the one that won my heart. And I thought it was really pretty and kind of dreamlike. Looked very soft. And mine is, I didn't even show you my stencil. So we all had a hand in creating our stencils. My stencil, which you'll see in a minute, is a bunny with flowers and glasses. So I just want to cover this whole board with a wash of this dragon fruit. I don't want it to be like real thick, just like a wash. So with the water, it can be lighter in other areas. It doesn't have to be like a solid color all the way through. The wind is howling outside. We got up to 70 today in Ohio, Northeast Ohio. And let me tell you, we have winds coming through. The other day we had 96-mile-an-hour gusts, and it was really scary. I'm going to give this a quick dry here. And today we're getting about, excuse me, about 50-mile-an-hour gusts. So very, very windy outside. I'm hoping we don't get a glitch with Facebook. I'm hoping my power doesn't go out, my internet doesn't go out. There's all kinds of stressors tonight. So let me just give this a real quick dry. I could use my other gun, which is much stronger. So this is Dragon Fruit with by Deco Arts. And then this is the little bunny that I'm doing. So cute. I think I have it the right way. It's a little bunny with glasses. I had ordered wood glasses for the live, but sadly they did not get here in time. They promised me 2 days and it's been about 5. So I was going to do some wooden glasses. So we're just going to paint them on. I thought about doing some cardboard. I thought about trying to cut them out on my scroll saw. So give this a quick dry, and then I am going to put out some Deco Arts Winter Blue. And I'm just going to put that on my plate over here next to that dragon fruit, which is a really pretty pink, very bright. And my brush is still wet, and I'm going to pick up this blue, and I'm going to start slip-slapping it kind of all over the place. And see how that pink is kind of showing through? Like an undertone almost. And it may be thicker in some areas. I'm using a new ring light the last couple times. And it's a very different angle. Let's see, gotta make sure you're in the camera. So we're just slip slapping this with the brush down. I have not painted the sides yet. I'll do that probably after the live. I got lazy today. It was such a nice, I mean, it was windy today, but it was very nice. I consider even if it's windy and it's 70, that's a nice day in Ohio in March. especially after the long winter we've had. So the Stencilsmith is hosting this event. And if you're new to the Stencilsmith, they are a company that have been around for 20 years this year. They have over 10,000 stencils. Pete and April are the owners, and they are absolutely amazing. They're everything you would want a small business or any business really to be or to treat you. Everything is super high quality. All the stencils are cut to order. I'm super proud to work with them, and it's been a real blessing. Okay, so we've slapped that around. So I'm gonna put some periwinkle, DecoArt's periwinkle down, and we're gonna slap some of that over it. And I'm gonna kind of rinse my brush out, but it's still gonna be wet. How are we doing? We're doing 10 minutes. Okay. I usually don't do backgrounds too much on lives. Because it takes so much time. And again, I'm just turning this brush over and over, just like it sounds, kind of slip-slappy with that blue. It might be lighter in some places. You can let some of that red, that pink come through. Pick up maybe just a little bit more. There's like no rhyme or reason to this. I just want it to look like real dreamy kind of in the background, if that makes sense. I think my comments went down. So hello, Judy. Hi, Julie. Hi, Diane. Thank you for sprinkling. Make sure to sprinkle. We are giving away 20,000, I think it's 20,000 Crafty reward points tonight. So we're just gonna kind of slap that in there, just like that. See, super quick. No plan really, other than the colors. And we're gonna give this a quick dry, and we're gonna start with our bunny. And this gives it kind of a very neat, dreamy little background, I guess is how I want to put it. Thank you. Yes, I'm loving this, this periwinkle. I've had it for a while and I haven't used it that much, but it's really pretty. And if you don't like it, you can just add some more, add less, do whatever you want. Let's just dry that real quick. I just want it to look kind of floaty and cottony, kind of a background. And you can see how that pink is coming through. Just a little bit in areas. So this is the same background on this side. It's just a little bit darker. Okay. So let me get this dry, and we're gonna start on our bunny right away, as quick as we can. I tried to be super organized out here. I'm normally not the most organized person. I try though. Okay. So that's pretty dry. So this is the stencil we're doing. It says, "Hello Spring." It's this adorable bunny with glasses. And I'm gonna get some painter's tape. Thank you, Diane. Yeah, make sure to sprinkle. Make sure to write sprinkled in the comments. And I think my comments have stopped on my secondary device, so I may have to go out and in again. And again, if for some reason something happens during this live and it stops, we'll be back with part 2 or part 3 if necessary. I've done that. So let me just go over here. So I am going to get a new plate is what I'm going to do, so I don't start mixing all my wet colors here. And I am going to put some sable brown, I think it is. I don't know where my colors are at. There it is. I even have the names on the top of them, and I can't find them. This is a real pretty brown, real soft brown. And get my stencil brush out. Love to offload onto shop towels. That is my favorite way to offload. They're very absorbent. I use them many, many times inside and out. They go a long way. So I'm gonna just start offload. Actually, I'm not really gonna offload. This is such a big area. When you have a big area like this, you can just start, if you're confident in it, you can start spreading your paint around, starting in the middle and going outward. And by the time you get to the edges, you've usually offloaded enough. But the key to good stenciling, getting closer to the edge here, so I did offload. The key to good stenciling is the offloading. And I only use the Stencil Smith brushes. They're absolutely amazing. I've used many, many brushes in my stenciling. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't want to call it a career. In my crafting, in my stenciling. And these are by far the best. If you have not used them, make sure to pick some up. They're absolutely amazing. So let's get this pretty sable brown in here. And hopefully, are we still live? Yeah, I think we are. Okay, good. I don't know what's going on here with my secondary device. To see comments. I think I'm not seeing comments correctly. I'm trying though, guys. Okay, there we go. I think my comments have stopped for me, so I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully there's nothing I'm missing. Oh, I just saw one, so maybe going out, in and out worked. Yeah, anywhere. I've got this last batch at Walmart. So we've got this sable brown all around, and I always put my brushes into a baggie with a wet wipe while I'm stenciling other things. You don't want them to dry out. And my wording is gonna be lamp black. So I'm gonna put just a squirt of this out and stencil the wording. And then we're gonna do some fur. And the Stencil Smith has so many sizes in brushes. Like I used a 1/2 inch for this. I'm using the 3/8. They're really amazing. And the little bitty ones are great for really small areas. There's even a micro one, which is like 1/8 of an inch, I think. And it's really great for those small little areas. So you want to let things dry in between coats. 28 with Blizzard. Oh no, thank you, Julie. Yes, I really like lamp black. So let's do, I think I want to do some purple and maybe lavender and a coral blush. I'm going to do 3 different colored butterflies. That just means more brushes to clean, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a little bit of purple iris, offload. I'm always offloading. And I'm going to get a little bit of lavender. I think that'll be, yeah, that'll be dark enough. And I'm going to get a little bit of coral blush. I think that's what it is, coral blush. Yeah, I really like this color. I've been using that a lot. Okay. And I'm going to, that's dry. I do not need to do another coat on this because we're going to put, this is its underwear. We're gonna do a quick dry here. And you can dry over your stencils. You just wanna move it around. Offloading is your best friend. So all of us, Danica, me, and Miss had a hand. Of course, April ultimately designed all of them, but we worked with her for the designs that we wanted to see, kind of. So I'm very proud of that. I know they are too. They just have the cutest ideas. And April is an amazing stencil designer. Okay, another coat of coral blush there. And then we're gonna do the black again, one more coat of lamp black. And then we're gonna start on, with an angle brush, we're gonna do some fur. So let's just, and I am rushing. I'm going a lot faster than I normally do in my lives. And because we only have an hour. So, and I did not do, except on a piece of paper, like one ahead of time to show you. So we're trying to get it done really, really quickly here. Okay, so let's take this base off, just like that. Looking really pretty, I think. And let's get our first overlay. Oh, no. Let's not do that. I'm gonna get my 1/4 inch angle brush, and I think I'm gonna probably turn it like this. Don't know why, yes, it's a small stencil. I may have to turn it towards me. I'm gonna have to turn it towards me, guys. I'm sorry about that. So I'm gonna wet my brush, and this is a 1/4 inch angle brush, and I'm gonna get some of the sable brown on here. And the reason I'm using this sable brown, I'm gonna go over it in white, but you wanna kind of soften the edges, and I'm just kind of bringing it up the way I want the bunny hair to go. And if you keep your brush a little damp, it does help the paint kind of flow. But you kind of want to soften your edges so you don't do your fur and you have these really hard edges. That doesn't look good at all. And I know I'm going to end up, and I'm kind of using the toe, the pointy end of my brush, and flicking up like that. So hopefully we'll have enough time for all this. I kind of didn't time myself earlier. Okay, let's do a couple little wispies here in the middle. Got to have some wispies there. And then we're just going to soften the edges. Like I want to bring this up like that. We're going to bring kind of like around like that. And then we're going to start coming kind of downward. And we're going to start here. I need to wet my brush just a little bit. A wet brush is your friend. It's not when you're stenciling, but when you're doing stuff like this, it can be very helpful. It helps the paint flow. And so let's bring some down here. So I kind of call the base coat like their underwear. And if you have a nice dark color, it kind of blends in. So we're going to pick up some white. We're going to do some white here. So we've softened, you see how we've softened all the edges there just right around there, and it just softens those harsh edges. And we're going to add some warm white. And so we're going to get I'm going to wet it again a little bit and start, and I've taken some white with that brown, and I'm not, so we've got a little bit, it's not like stark white, and I'm doing the same thing, just kind of taking the toe of that brush and making short little marks. And we're gonna go up into here. And we're gonna wet it again, and we're gonna get a little bit more of that white. And see how it's like, it's still that shade of brown, but it's a little different. So we're just bringing that brush up in little slashing marks. And this is a fun thing to practice and try. I really like doing it. And so we're going to want to bring our hair up like this, going this way. And I went the wrong way here. I'm going to kind of start bringing it down. We're going to start coming down like that. And our hair is going to start coming this way. So all this kind of went up from almost like a V. And again, we've got the white with the brown, just a little bit. And I'm just making little slashing. Now I love using my rake brush. The rake brush, like you could go over this with your rake brush and just add some really, really cool detail. So let's just kind of bring these down here. And we'll go over, let's see, ooh, it's 8:30 almost, okay. We're just slashing this down here. And these are just short little strokes. And see how that brown underneath it gives it an undercolor. I call it, it's having a March bad day. Yes, he's looking fluffy, right. So I'm gonna rinse it out pretty good here, and I'm gonna add just some white with none of the brown, and I'm gonna go back up here. And then you've got several different colors in there. I turned my notifications off. That's one of the things you're supposed to do now, which I used to do, but then I forget for the live. So I know if you watch other people, it's been crazy with these lives getting disturbed. I've had an awful time with mine. So let's just add some of this white in here. And we'll just add a little bit more, and see how you've got like several different colors in there, and he's just a fluffy little bunny. We're adding some more fur. And we're adding some of that like stark white in there, that warm white. And I'm just using, again, the toe of that brush. And it's looking, so see how he's looking like he has fur, and then he's got the undercoat there. I don't know why my other device keeps going off. I'm not sure what's going on here, but at least we're still live. That's a whole nother issue. So we've got our nice colors going on there. We've got them all nice and fluffy and furry there with just very little effort. It's just an angle brush and some paint, and just you take the toe, the very toe of your brush, and you're just flicking it. Like, oh, I guess I'm not in the camera, just kind of flicking it, and just practice it. It's really easy to learn. It's really easy to do. And let me give this a quick dry. So my paint's all dry. Thank you so much. And we're gonna go on with overlay number 1, which in my practice run, I messed him up. I put his glasses way too far down. This stencil, most of them fit like a puzzle piece. Well, this is one of those that is kind of a free-floating one. So you have to really nail it, or your glasses are going to be way too far down, and I've already done that once today. So he's going to get a face, Kathy. Well, thank you. And you could make them even finer with the rake brush, which if you don't have a rake brush, this is the Stencil Smith's rake brush. I don't know if you can see the little, how they're separated. I don't have time to demonstrate that today, but I have done some, and it's just really, really, it's a really fun brush to use. I forgot to bring my gnomes out. Okay, I think he's dry. So let's go with our second overlay, and I'm going to turn it towards me for just a minute and line this up, because I did not line it up very good when I did a practice run of this earlier on my paper, on my doodle pad. I think that's going to be good. I'm not doing these little hash marks here because he's already so detailed. So let me get my tape. Painter's tape also is always your friends to keep your stencils in place. And I am going to take, which I forgot to get out, I'm going to take some slate gray, which is my favorite color. Nope, that's gray sky. That's next to it. Slate gray. And I'm going to go over this before I put anything on it, because there's so much detail of the bunny fur, and then also where the edge of the glasses and the fur, where two colors meet, you'll get two different colors with your color over it, if that makes sense. So we don't want to do that. So let's just do one coat of gray, and I prefer gray to white. And we're going to do a coat of gray on everything except these little, and you could tape that off. I'm not using these little marks there because I've already done his fur in a sense. And you want to make that all kind of gray there because of the color underneath it. And gray is another pretty color for the undercolor of fur. But I find base coating with gray works better than white, at least for me. White tends to leave more of a line. So let's get that. And let's get down here, these flower stems, which are just beautiful. All these little wildflowers. One of my favorite stencils that the Stencil Smith has that I've made, and it's actually been a very popular seller for me, is there's one called You Belong Among the Wildflowers. And, you know, it's kind of a Tom Petty song, and Tom Petty was one of my favorite singers ever. Okay, so we've got a coat of that gray on there, so we'll give that a quick little dry here. But base coating gray, 9 bottles of gray. Yep, exactly. Gray works wonderful, and you always want to use it, even if there's not a lot of stuff going on in the background, where the glasses are over the edge of the bunny. if you don't, you'll put a color down, unless it's like black or something, you will see the difference of the colors from the background. Okay, so real quick dry. They dry super quick. Now his little ears, the in between, the inside of them, I'm gonna do in blush pink. And these are all Stencil Smith, or not Stencil Smith, they're all Deco Arts colors. And so let's give this a nice swirl down there. And I'm a swirler, love to swirl. Make sure you offload real good and swirl. And most things need 2 coats. The glasses I decided I am doing in Joyful Pink, which is this really pretty pink. I wanted something that would really pop. I thought about red too, or really bright orange. But I decided to go with the Joyful Pink. So I'm getting another brush. Gonna have lots of brush cleaning here. And we're gonna go around, because this is gonna be black right here, the eyeball. Do some pretty pink. And I did, like I said, I ordered wood glasses. I wanted to put some wood glasses for some dimension on here, but they did not come in time for the live. So, but the glasses come with the stencil, so that's really cool. So let's get my black here, my black brush, and I'm gonna do those eyes. We're doing pretty good. Oh, we're doing good. Okay. I was getting worried there when we were doing the fur. I wasn't sure, so let's do the eyes here in this black. Whoop. Yeah, Tom Petty was a real favorite of mine. Loved him. I grew up in the well, my high school years were in the 80s, so. Okay. And that was medium, excuse me, medium Hauser green. Oh, my voice. Okay, so let's do these little stems in this medium Hauser green. Just like so. My comments are frozen again. Boy, if it's not one thing, it's another with Facebook. There's always something jamming you up, I feel like. Okay, let's get this. And all of the Hauser greens are great. I think they have a green bundle that you can buy now for Deco Arts. So I don't think I've said, I may have, but this stencil and then all the other stencils today are on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. You save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK. That's SIGNSHACK. So you're going to be getting 35% off your off a one stencil or all 3. Whatever you're ordering. And then you're also going to get this beautiful free sheet. It has not been nice. So this beautiful free sheet here with all these wonderful little things for it. Thank you, Lois. Thank you, Margaret. Excuse me, I got to get a drink of water here. Now, also, if you have not followed... Well, I got my Joyful Pink first, so we'll just go with that. I meant to get my blush pink. So let's get these bright. Does anybody have a really bright pair of glasses? I always wanted to be that person that wore a pair, but I'm so not that person. I am not that person. Okay, we got a good second coat on that. And let's get those ears with the blush pink. This blush pink is really one of my favorite pinks. I love this pink. It's so soft, so pretty. Get a second coat on that, and we will get the leaves again. Well, hello, Kimmy. How are you? So I think I was saying, I may have said, I forget what I said half the time. I told my followers the last live, I'm kind of half crazy. I think sometimes, you know how like women always have too many irons in the fire anyhow. You just have so much going on. But make sure if you haven't followed me or Miss or Danica at their sites, putting my hand in all the paints, make sure to give us a follow. Helps us out so much. And make sure to give the Stencil Smith a follow and join Paint and Share also, please. You'll just get wonderful inspiration there from all the beautiful painters. There's so much talent in that group. It's unbelievable. Okay, so we've got our second coat on. I'm going to take a little bit of that Joyful Pink, and I'm just going to kind of dry brush a little bit. Let's take a peek here. Just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of dimension. If it's too much, like I feel like that was a little too much, go back with my blush. It just gives it a little bit of oomph. I wanted to take a little bit of the Hauser, the dark, and do a little bit of shading of those with a dry brush, not floating it, just a dry brush. That's another way to shade. And you can just kind of willy-nilly, like all over. Add a little bit of dark color here and there. And it just adds, again, it'll add just a little bit of dimension in areas. You're not wanting to turn it a different color. You're just wanting to add a little bit of dimension. And if you dry brush it in there, it's an easy way to do it with your stencil brushes. And so I am going to, I think I've got everything. Oh, I need to get the black twice. I don't think I got that twice. Let's see. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's pop this one off. And look how cute that is coming along. I'm loving it. I am going to take my liner brush very quickly, and I'm going to take a little bit of gray first. And I'm going to close the bridge right here in these glasses before I put the pink over it. And if you don't, the color may not match because I did gray under it, before. Okay, just like that. Let me rinse it out. And I don't know why my comments keep going away really crazy like. I'm still alive though, so that's a good thing. And then I'm going to get my Joyful Pink here. And I just get a little bit and I kind of tap it off. My brush is a little, it's not like super wet or anything like that, but it's damp. And you can take a little, like I'm seeing a little ridge there. where I stenciled. So you can take a little piece of paper and sand before you add the color. Just because sometimes there will be a little ridge where the stencil ends. And let's just add a little bit more color there. And close those bridges. Like I said, I was going to have some real cute little wooden glasses that I was going to decorate up. Thank you so much. Where are we? We've got 15 minutes. Okay. Let's boogie. Yeah, I'm liking them. I think I might turn this little butterfly down there lavender. Maybe. So I just want to make sure that's dry before I put down my next overlay. Okay, where's my next overlay? So this, let me turn this around so I can get it. I'll turn it back towards you. But let me... And this is going to be overlay 2. This is not right. There we go. Whew. I was like, that is not right. You want to get these lower flowers down here lined up with the stems, and they'll fit right in perfectly. And again, I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to tape this down. And I don't think I'm going to add these little squigglies. So in case I forget, I'm going to just put a little piece of tape over it. Because I know me, I'll forget and just go to town. It's just too many. It would look good on a plain background, but it's going to be, I think, too much on a, with all the fur. So let's get this down. Let's start with gray. We're going to, again, put gray. Let me find my gray brush. Got lots of them here to choose from. Pretty sure that's my gray one. Sometimes the colors look the same on the tips of your brush. Yeah, the glasses are adorable, aren't they? Okay. So let's just, I'm going to turn it around towards you guys. And this is the third overlay, so we're not going to go down there. So not going to go to town on the centers of the flowers. So again, where the bunny fur and the background is, that would be two totally different colors. So you just want to take that gray and give everything, and I've done like where I've done gnomes and you have the beards and stuff like that. If you don't color in where you've got the beards going and stuff like that, or some kind of fur or something, you will see, you'll see the, like you could see it now through the gray, just poking through, you'll see the fur or the beard or whatever it may be. So I always recommend doing that. And even though I'm doing this in black, I'm going to go over that. I'm going to worry about up here and get his whiskers, because his whiskers are on 2 different colors too. So let's get that and give that a quick little dry. Yes, and I would love to do a bunny. I thought about doing a bunny with like his underwear being gray. I love grays and pinks together. I think those are really pretty combos. So let's give this a nice little dry there. Don't fall out. I'm going to just do my black here first. We'll get the whiskers and stuff. Right here. Get some cute little whiskers. We've got little bunnies that come and eat our flowers every year. Of course, I do give them apples and stuff like that. I throw food out for them, especially in the winter. They're so cute. They're adorable. And then they have little baby bunnies. And those are even cuter. I got to get a little bit more black out here. This is that lamp black. Oh, I bet you did. I bet you did, Kathy. It just takes practice. I didn't immediately get it. There's something about it. I just love the fur and the beards and stuff like that, because you can just kind of let your let everything go, kind of. So we do need a little bit of warm white here. And I'm just going to dab into my cap, which you probably shouldn't do. They say that contaminates your paint, but I do it all the time. Okay, and I'm offloading every time. Oh, I forgot about my little yellow. I want to do little yellow hearts. So I'm using summer squash here. They make you mad in the spring. I can't get mad at them. I understand where you're coming from, Becca. But seriously, I guess I do need to put some white out because I'm going to have a couple white flowers. I forgot. Okay. So this is summer squash, and I'm going to do the little hearts in yellow. I think that's going to look super cute on the pink. And I'm going to use that for the center of my flowers too. And let's do some flowers here. I'm going to do some white ones. I think some coral. I might throw a lavender or two in there. Let me see. Let me find my white brush. Okay, so I'm going to do, I think, some white here on the outside. On these outer ones. Maybe that one there. And that one there. That one there. And I think this one here. Okay. Do a couple there. And let's see. Oh, I'll do that one there, white. And I don't know. I think the white's going to be okay, even though we have some white fur. And maybe this little guy here. And then I think the rest we might do in that coral. I just got to find my coral brush. And if it doesn't look good, you can change the colors always. Always, always. Where's my coral brush? Is that coral? No. Yeah, I think that is coral. You don't want to dip it in the brush in the wrong paint. So I'm going to do these, I think, in this coral. Coral blush. Okay. And we're going to go back and do a second coat here. We have time. Okay. I'm losing, I've got so many brushes here, guys. I'm losing them. Let's get the white. And we'll do the eyes again. And I probably have way too much paint on that brush. I gotta find my yellow brush, which I think is this one. Yep. So this is that summer squash. I feel like that wasn't dry. If your paints aren't super dry, you're just gonna push the paint around, and I don't think it was quite dry. And if you have not sprinkled, make sure to sprinkle so you can be entered in the contest for 20,000 Crafty Reward points. You rebel. I know, but they're so cute, guys. They are, especially when you see them in the spring and there's like the little, they get their little baby bunnies. I know Jeff gets so mad because we have a really bad, that's my husband, Jeff, mole problem. And boy, they tear up our yard. And I don't like that either. We put so much work into our yard and they really, really tear it up, boy. And he was gonna kill him, and then I don't know if you can say that, but he saw like a mama with a little baby and he's like, oh, I can't do that. So now we have a torn up yard every spring, really bad. And we've done like the anti-grub. I don't think when I put the white here, I didn't put a second coat down here. So let's get a second coat of this white on, and this is warm white. And I don't know if I need, let me just take a peek here, guys, real quick. I really like those colors. Those look pretty together. I feel like I need another little hit of the summer squash. I think I had it. Like I said, if your paint isn't dry, now you can shade. We do not have time to shade our flowers, but you could shade your flowers similar to how we did the ears and stuff, with just a little bit of dry brush and a darker color, something like that. It doesn't take much. So let's pull this up, and we've got our little bunny, so cute. I love it. I'm going to change that butterfly though. I do not like that. Okay, let me turn this around for sure so I can get the little, I can stencil upside down, but sometimes I cannot, okay, I can't line them up upside down. Sometimes that's way over my head. So let's get some more summer squash here. So I don't know if I completed my thought earlier. I meant to. I really did. But make sure to sprinkle, write sprinkled in the comments, so you will be entered to win the contest for the 20,000 Crafty Reward points. We would really love to give. We've given 4 away so far today. There have been 4 winners. I don't know who they have been because I've been in and out of the other lives. Off and on. Oh, thank you, Miss. Thank you, Lois. Thank you, Bronwyn. That's a high compliment from you, Miss. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get just a little bit more of this summer squash here. Okay. And I think we're gonna lift it up, and look how cute that is. I do wanna change the butterfly. We have a minute to change the butterfly. I don't like, it's clashing with my flowers, so I'm gonna make that one lavender. So what do you think, girls? Do you like that? Are you going to be trying some bunny fur? You won, Sherry. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Oh, come on. My purples, my lavender's almost all dried up. And I just want to change it. And then I will close my bridges after the live. You'll take, I think it's 20,000. I'm pretty sure. Thank you so much, Bronwyn. So that is my little bunny. And if I had time, like I said, I would shade the flowers a little bit. We're actually doing good here on time. We have 2 minutes left. Look at that. I didn't know if it was possible. But this cute little bunny here, and Mrs. Cute Little Duck, and then Danica's cute little, her cute little bunny, her bunny butt. They are on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off, and you can save an extra 15% with my code, which is SignShack, SIGN, or any of their codes. And we want to thank Pete and April so much for having this event, hosting it. We appreciate it. Thank you, Danica, I appreciate that. But we're going to choose some winners now. We didn't lose power. Facebook didn't mess with me tonight. It's a good night. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. And if you're new, please make sure to follow me. Make sure to follow the Stencil Smith. Follow Miss, and follow. It's 2,000 points. Okay, it's 2,000. It's $20. How about that? It's $20. Thank you, Bonnie. I can always count on my girls to rein me in and tell me what's what, because I ultimately always mess it up. So, but thank you so much, and we're going to spin the wheel, and as soon as April gets the 2 winners, I will announce them. The winners are Pam Dutton-Burgett and Diane Kuklinski Gould. So Pam Dutton-Burgett and Diane Kuklinski Gould. Yeah, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate it. But yeah, make sure to get your orders in. You'll get this. You'll get this beautiful free stencil with any of the stencils that were demonstrated tonight. We appreciate everything so much. Thank you so much for joining us. I truly appreciate it. Thank you to April, Pete, Danica, and Missy. I appreciate all of you. And again, thank you so much, and have a great evening. Stay safe wherever you are in all this bad wind and storms and stuff. Bye-bye.